Now is the three. Start.
Good afternoon, everyone. Within 5 minutes, we are going to start out the program.
ಹೇಳ್ದ ಫೋಟೋಸ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ.
Good afternoon, Roopa ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Can you check whether you are able to share the screen?
Yes, I think I'll give me a second.
Yeah, ma'am.
प्लीज चुप के रहना छोड़ो.
Mute रख. और मारो नाम कोई दिखाई दे बेटा. हाँ, हर्षित दिखाई दे. हर्षित.
Were you able to see the screen?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Quote, give girls the wings to fly, not the pain to cry and die. Save the people. On occasion of the National Girl Child Day, we are Here to happily announce you the webinar title, Revisiting the Girl Effect, Policy and Agency Level Intervention for Women Empowerment. I, Professor Ashwini Baswaraju, BBA BCom Department, would like to welcome all the participants on this e-platform. To begin with, I would like to welcome our beloved Chairman, Dr. D. Hemchandra Sagar. I welcome our BC, the Vice Chairman, Dr. D. Premchandra Sagar. I'm glad to extend my welcome to our beloved Secretary, Sri Gali Swami, who have always extended their support in organizing any events. And also, I would like to welcome our today's speaker, Dr. Roopa Patavardhan, Assistant Professor, Department of Economics, Christ, BJR Campus, Bangalore. Welcome you, ma'am. It's my privilege to welcome our beloved Principal, Dr. Nagraj Shanai, and the IQSC Coordinator, Professor Gurunath. I also welcome our HOD, Dr. Suplab K. Podar and Professor Murgesha PN. I extend my welcome note to all the benefiting students and the faculty members. Now, I welcome Professor Meghana C. to introduce our today's speaker, Dr. Roopa Patavardhan.
Thank you, Professor Ashwini. Now I'm happy to introduce the speaker for the day, Department of Economic Studies, Christ deemed to be University. Ma'am has qualified BA from University of Mysore, Master of Arts specialized in economics from Christ University, and PhD titled Dynamics of Rural Labor Supply, a case study of Chikmagalur district under the guidance of Dr. D.S. Lilavati, awarded from the Mysore University in the year 2016. To add on her achievements, ma'am have cleared UGC NET, KSET in economics and JRF in the year 2012. Ma'am has secured lot of gold medals to name few. Sumati Srinivasan, Gold Medal, University of Mysore. Shri P.N. Krishnamurthy, Gold Medal, University of Mysore. Padmada Prasad, Memorial Gold Medal. Dr. Masti Venkatesh Iyengar, Gold Medal. And Saraswati Bai Gopinath, Cash Prize in the year 2010. Ma'am also as appointed as a BOE member economics at Mahajan's first grade college, Mysore Autonomous, University of Mysore. Professor has published articles in journal titled Revisiting Labor Policy for Rural Casual Labor in India in Journal of Humanities and Social Science, Zenith International Journal of Business, Economics and Management Research, Sustainable Service, Led Growth in India, Problems and Prospects, Journal of Productivity and Management. Ma'am has keen interest as a block, Millennium One teacher, Zen Z students and post lunch lecture, a student, a story relating to teaching and education policy to higher education, rural development and inclusive growth, rural women entrepreneurship in India. Professor has participated and presented the papers in seminars, conference, symposium. Ma'am also attended lot of workshops, FTP, training programs. I heartily welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Meghana ma'am.
Welcome, ma'am. Now I like to hand over the session to Dr. Roopa, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Meghana ma'am. I hope I am audible clearly.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes, thank you. A very good afternoon, respected chairman and the management, principal, director, faculty members and faculty coordinators, the staff and my dear students. At the outset, I just want to thank this Shakti, the Women Dignity Cell, and Udaimita, the entrepreneurship cell, IQAC, team IQAC, and Department of Commerce and Management at Dayanand Sagar College of Art, Science, Commerce, for marking this celebration of National Girl Child Day. Such events are very, very essential in this current juncture, where we have to empower our young minds. Okay, such events are such agency efforts which I'm going to talk today. Okay, so let me begin with extending greetings for this particular day. Okay, happy National Girl Child's Day. While Mrs. Ashwini had contacted me to grace this occasion, I was just thinking about like what kind of topic maybe I'll be able to discuss. Because my interest also, I was very excited, to be very honest, because something very close to my research interest. Ma'am, Meghana ma'am might have told you several things about like my achievements, minor achievements till now. Now, currently, I'm very much into research in development economics, particularly gender, health, and environment to some extent. So in that particular context, something relating to gender was always welcome. I was very, very glad and I was very excited to like be part of this particular program. So let us get into the lecture. Okay. Only one thing I just want to like break your like monotony of the day. This is afternoon, and I have written a blog about like what are the difficulties of handling a post-lunch session for this Gen Z students. Specifically, they have a attention span of maybe like 5 minutes. So just have a read on that. Okay, you'll find it on my profile in our website. You will be able to look into that. It's a very interesting story for all students as well as teachers. You will be able to enjoy that. So I'm in the same scenario. So I'm very excited to make your afternoon interesting with this like maybe 45-50 minutes of like lecture. Okay, so let me share my screen. Give me a second.
Ma'am, you have muted yourself. Roopa ma'am. Roopa ma'am, you have muted yourself.
One second, ma'am. I hope now I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am. Now you are audible.
Yeah, 1 second, ma'am. This is because of that sharing, I think. 1 second. Now, I hope I'll be audible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So let me begin with the title. Okay. So revisiting the girl effect, policy and agency level interventions for women development, women empowerment. So that is our title for today. Okay. I'll be touching upon what is girl effect, and then what are the policy and agency level interventions which help in women empowerment. Okay. So let me start with giving an outline. Okay. Generally, what we discuss throughout a lecture will be put in the nutshell in this this particular slide. Okay, so I would like to give you that outline, what all I'll be going to discuss in this particular lecture. So first is, of course, why we are here today. Okay, what makes us to be here today. So I'll be just giving you those information in the beginning. And then I will get into like what is the premise for us to celebrate such events. Okay, what has led to a scenario wherein we are commemorating and we are celebrating a lot of these kinds of events over the years. Okay, specifically in the last 10 years, what all developments we have had. So for that, I want to establish with the concept of like gender stereotyping. Then I will get into what is girl effect and what is women empowerment. From there, I will like quickly take you through what do I mean by revisiting this girl effect. Okay, so where I will be touching upon policy interventions as well as agency interventions. Of course, I'll be giving you what is the meaning of like policy interventions, what is agency interventions, and then I'll be touching upon directly on those issues. Then, of course, I will be concluding my session, and if you have any questions, we will take it up at the end of the session. So let us just see, okay, as I have told you, such events become very, very important. So let us see why this National Girl Child Day, which is celebrated here in India on 24th of January. Okay, we from since 2009 we have been celebrating this. This is an initiative of Ministry of Women and Child Development. Now, why do we need to celebrate? Okay, why do we need to have that? According to their website, okay, according to their website and according to the press releases every year they release. Okay, what is their major agenda? Why they have to celebrate National Girl Child Day? So the objective behind celebrating this National Girl Child Day is to provide all support and opportunities to the girls of the country. Okay, support, of course, is required. And how do we create an enabling environment to all these girls who are out there? Okay, that is providing opportunities for them. And it also aims towards promoting awareness about what are the rights of a girl child and how to increase awareness. Okay, awareness among what is the importance of girls education. Now all of us are sitting here with our laptops and phones. We have logged in, and we education is like you have information everywhere. Okay, you'll be like, oh, I have my smartphone, I can Google anything at my fingertips. Okay, but there are a lot of like girls as well as there are a lot of students, including boys, okay, who are from rural areas or who might be part of urban poor, who don't have access to education, okay, like we have in pandemic situations. They might not have an opportunity. See, our entire university shifted online, and we are in in a very what is that, sophisticated way of like delivering online lectures, online webinars, and all of this. Okay, we are our meetings online and all sorts of activities. There is no disruption from the pandemic, to be very honest, except for the work-life balance and all of that. Apart from that, our life is kind of like normal. But when it comes to like maybe a girl or a boy even who is in a rural area or who are stuck in poverty, okay, I will not even call rural area, who are stuck in poverty, who don't have access, who don't have affordability, okay, so they have this difficulties of like getting education. So we have to create awareness. So that is another agenda here. And also health and nutrition. There might be a lot of programs organized in order to look into what are the health needs and what are the nutritional needs of these girl kids. Okay, so that is the idea. Okay, that is the whole idea behind this National Girl Child Day. Now, I just ask you a question. Those of you who are able to type in the chat responses, please welcome. When is International Girl Child Day celebrated? Just have a look at that, okay? And then if possible, just post it in the chat. Okay, we will have a look at it at the end of the session. Now let me get into what I told you. See why there is a lot of importance. All those of boys who might be attending this might be wondering. Always they get an edge over. Okay, we are in a stage wherein like we are speaking beyond this also, beyond this meaning, beyond the girl child education or girl child empowerment. We are still talking. We have started talking about other genders also, like how they have been affected. So why we have reached such a stage? Okay, so let me just give you my way of like looking at like how we have reached this stage. Okay, that is because of gender stereotyping. Let me ask you a question. What do you mean by stereotyping? Okay, is anyone having any clue? So if there are chat responses, Ashwini ma'am, if you can help me with the chat responses, it would be great. I'll just switch my
Yes,
this
ma'am.
thing. If there are any chat responses, please let me know. Okay. So I'm just asking you. Okay. So what do you mean by stereotyping? Okay, it might be like branding you all as Gen Z. Okay, all of you are like I'm labeling an individual based on certain characteristics which might not be true for everyone. Okay, so that is one way of looking at stereotyping. Okay, so it is over generalizing some activity or some event, okay, that we call as like stereotyping. Now let us get into this gender stereotyping. What do we understand by gender stereotyping? Gender stereotype is a generalized view or preconception you already have made up your mind about certain attributes or certain characteristics or certain roles that are ought to be possessed by or performed by different genders. Okay, so meaning to say that because you are from a specific sex, okay, biologically you are expected to perform certain things by the society. Okay, and gender, this kind of like, I'll give you more examples which will be clear to you. The concept will be clear to you like very soon. Okay, where you understand the examples. It is kind of like a practice which is harmful when it limits capacity of individuals to develop their personal abilities. Meaning to say, I as an individual might be interested in several things as a human being, but because I am a girl, okay, because I am a woman, I will be forced to do certain things because there are expectations, because I am a woman or I am a girl or I am a from a particular what is that gender classification. So in that context, what will happen is I might have certain personal choices which I will not be able to perform freely. Okay, so that is the most harmful effect on this what is that on freedom of individual, or what we call as economic development as freedom we call. Okay, otherwise how as an individual you will be able to flourish as a personality, it will be hampered. As a human you will not be able to express yourself like very clearly as how you want to express. Then it is wrongful. Gender stereotyping is wrongful when it results in violation of human rights and fundamental freedoms. Okay, just because you are overgeneralized for certain attitudes and certain behaviors and certain acts which you have to undertake in a society, what will happen is your human rights will be curbed, your fundamental freedoms will be curbed. Okay, so that is the concept of gender stereotyping. Now I told you I'll give you certain examples. You can read out certain examples which are there in the on the slide. Okay, if you have anything after like understanding, if you have any examples, you will be able to what is that, post it. I've given here just to make or catch your attention. That is, we have a general stereotyping, okay, wherein you say that students who are interested in extracurricular activities are not good at studies. This is an example for stereotyping, not gender stereotyping, stereotyping. Okay, now coming to gender stereotyping. Okay, so let me elaborate a bit on the first. Say for example, if we had instances wherein I don't know if it happens now also, but when we were in school, if you are into sports, you are to do sports, okay? And they would say that those who are in sports or drama or TV or whatever other extracurricular activities, you will not be studying, okay? You are wasting time, okay? And they will be like, those students who are performing those activities are not interested generally, okay? So that is one what is that example for stereotyping. Now, what are gender specific stereotyping? Okay, we have some more what is that examples which I will be able to give you. Say for example, you are a girl and you don't know to cook, or there might be like, you are a boy, so you should not be crying, you can't cry, okay? So that is what. Or you are a girl and I think most of you are Kannada speaking, you have this, right? So women are just to what is that, I remember some famous what is that dialogues from the popular movie, where your comedy actor I think Chikanna, who says that though they women are bound to kitchen, okay? That's what he says. I don't want to just I just want to catch your attention, so I'm giving that example. That is what I can relate when I'm just looking at the what is that the student crowd here. So what is he trying to tell us? Like base hakoru, and then you have tand hakoru. So base hakoru is nothing but those who are cooking at home, and tand hakoru is those who earn a livelihood and bring those materials for you to cook, okay? So that is also a stereotyping, okay? You are conditioning, socially conditioning human beings to act in certain manner, okay? So there are some common stereotypes, okay? This will help you understanding what is stereotyping and what are gender roles. See, because there was a mix of like students who are from different streams, I didn't want to bring in a lot of technical things here. I just want to keep it simple for that a message for you to carry after this particular lecture, okay? So I hope you have understood what is gender stereotyping. So there are some traditional gender stereotypes. What are those? Feminine and masculine. We just extend our argument now. So what is that? Feminine, not aggressive, dependent. Women are not aggressive, they are dependent, easily influenced, okay? You can fool them easily. Or they are submissive, they are passive, they are home oriented, they don't what is that, they are easily hurt emotionally, or they are indecisive, they are talkative, okay? All girls are talkative, or like they are very gentle, okay? And they are sensitive to other feelings, very desirous of security, someone should secure them, okay? Or cries a lot. And then emotional, verbal, kind, tactful, and nurturing. These are certain characteristics which are attributed to women, and there are certain characteristics which are attributed to masculine or men. What are those? They are aggressive, they are independent, okay? They are not dependent on anyone, or not easily influenced, they are dominant, they are active, okay? They are worldly, they are not easily hurt emotionally, okay? They are decisive, they are not talkative, silent, okay? They are silent types, or tough, okay? Or less sensitive to other feelings, they don't care about anyone's feelings, or they are not very desirous of security, okay? They are rarely cry, they are very logical, they are analytical, they are cruel, they are blunt, they are not nurturing. And then also you can see women don't drive better, men drive, okay? Men drive better. All these kinds of like stereotyping you will be able to see traditionally, you might have. And I'm glad, okay, I'm speaking to you this Gen Z, because these are the things which was very rampant, okay, back then. But because of a lot of like policy and agency level interventions over the years, especially last 10-15 years, you'll be able to see that it's not always the case, okay? You can see people are aware of these kinds of things, and they know that you can't be branding any individuals on the basis of their biological sex, okay? Then gender stereotyping, let us, what are the effects on the girl child? Because here we are discussing about National Girl Child Day, okay? And what are the effects of this kind of gender stereotyping on girl child? Okay, first is preference for boy child, okay, that is female foeticide, okay, the girl might not even see the world, okay, so that kind of like preference for boy child is there. Or preference for education of boy child, okay, if you are a poverty stricken family, okay, if you find, I would say, if you find a poverty stricken family, they would be earlier, okay. Now I told you there are a lot of changes, but still it's not like very evident that changes everywhere, okay. So that is why it becomes very, very important for us to see, if there is a poverty stricken family, you will be able to see that there is a preference given to boy child for education, and girl child, if need be, she need not study, okay, because it is very costly for us to send, okay. Now don't just think of like Karnataka's example, okay, or any developed states example. There are a lot of like states which are very poor in like enrollment of girl child in schools, okay, there are. So in that context, you should be able to see that, ma'am is meaning this lecture, I'm not concentrating on that. No, I am very well aware of the situation. You might be thinking, no, girls are getting free cycle, girls are getting books and all of that. Don't think in that manner. There are still a lot of children who are given preference, boy child who is getting preference in a family in comparison to a girl child. Also, there might be a lot of nutritional imbalances. What is this nutritional imbalances? We have evidences, research evidences and case studies where mother will give all the nutritious food to a boy in comparison to a girl, okay. So that is also there are a lot of implications because of gender stereotyping. Why? Because boy is meant to bring money to the house, okay, boy is meant to earn a livelihood, he will secure us, he will look after us, okay. Both economic and social what is that factors relating to gender stereotyping and gender roles have created this. And also, even if they are having, say for example, I told you about poverty stricken families, right? Now if at all we take into consideration a middle class family, okay, or little bit over poverty, okay, now they can send both of their children, one boy and one girl, if we assume that they have like they are a family where you have one boy and one girl, okay. Now if they are able to send both of them, they are able to afford and send both of these kids to school. Still, evidences show that parents prefer sending boys to a private school in comparison to sending a girl to a private school, okay, because return on investment, meaning we are sending boy to a private school, his earning capacity will improve, he will be able to bring back that to our family, okay, so as a family income. So that is what is parents preference, okay. So this is also because of gender stereotyping. And then restrictions on education or even life choices for girls, okay. If a girl wants to like play cricket, if you are very interested, you can watch, there is one popular movie about like which will come recently about like a girl in northern state wants to do skating as a career, okay, but she will not be allowed to because she is a girl, okay. You'll be able to see that, okay, there are a lot of restrictions on the life choices of individuals, sorry, life choices of the girls. And of course we all know the effects of like child marriages, okay, and then you have a lot of other social problems relating to it, okay. Then all domestic and social issues and expectations, okay, expectations that will not allow a woman or a girl child to become what she wants to become, okay. So that is like what are the effects on the girl child. Now with this, okay, with this like a background, okay, I've given you a background of like what are we getting into, okay. We are getting into understanding like how people started questioning these kinds of like gender stereotypes, okay. people started at the policy level, I'm saying the governments at the international level, they started thinking that this is not going good. Okay, we have to stop this. And there were several initiatives, and there are a lot of like feminist economists, because I'm from economics, I'm giving you a lot of references from economics. There are a lot of like feministic movement also, which encouraged like you approaches like women and economic development, or women in economic development. Okay, so they came up with this. Now we speak of like gender and development. Okay, that is a like latest, wherein you speak about like men, women, and the third gender also, how they have been excluded over the years and all that. So that is correct. But back during like 1980s, post 1970s and 1980s and 90s specifically, there was huge and specifically 1990s. Okay, there was huge cry at the international level for inclusive development. Okay, inclusive economic development. There came all these concepts of like including children, okay, including women in economic development, and framing policies for achieving that particular objective. So in that light, okay, in that light, I just came across this particular project, okay, called as Girl Effect. Okay, and of course, this is this was started as a particular project by Nike Foundation. Okay, I'm sure all of our young friends will be able to relate to Nike, right? Nike, it launched its Girl Effect in 2008 and as part of its CSA, okay, that is corporate social CSR, corporate social responsibility. CSA is our university's Center for Social Action. Okay, so I just it slipped my it's slipped. Okay, now I'm telling you about like Nike Foundation, okay, which launched the Girl Effect as part of the corporate social responsibility in 2008 at World Economic Forum. With that, okay, there was a new trend in the global development policy. Okay, what World Bank has to tell us, okay, what UNO has to tell us, all the countries, I mean us meaning all other countries, member countries, what they are to do in their policies, okay, or any development agency at the international level, they started looking at this particular idea of like girl effect. What do you mean by girl effect then? Girl effect is about unique potential of adolescent girls to end poverty for themselves and the world. Okay, so they are what they you are investing. Okay, you are trying to increase the potential of adolescent girls in order to end poverty. Okay, you have to note the fact that it is completely revolutionary thought back then, wherein the girl will be able to have a ripple effect. Okay, meaning the where you invest on girls, okay, girls education, you will be able to see impact on her family, okay, impact on her community, and impact on country as a whole. And what do they do over the years? They started in 2008, I told you. Over the years, these have been their initiative. You can take it chronologically also, no problem. Okay, that is, they started Girl Hub, they started several magazines, they started radio shows, they started a girl declaration. Okay, some like point agendas for everyone to look into. Okay, and Girl Summit, they gathered all the girls around the world in their development project, and they were able to give them platform to open up and show their talents and discuss their ideas. And mobile and internet reach, okay, they have n number of programs and apps devised for these purposes, and music, and they use storytelling. Okay, all these ways in which they will be able to create awareness among like individuals as well as the entire society and girl child themselves, because they should know, right, what is their capacity if they are educated. Okay, then Facebook also tied up with them. Okay, and then they have Facebook free basics. You will be able to, those who this generation is on Instagram, I think. Okay, but you should be able to just visit Facebook and see what are Facebook free basics. Okay, and then now currently They are involved in a lot of research project, including what is that, all of these. Okay, they are still continuing with this, plus they are doing a lot of research projects. See, I'm not here to propagate about Nike's effort. Okay, I'm here to tell you one thought which has put across like several research into picture. What is that research is like, we have, I will present you certain study results, okay, which have told us like how investment in girls education has had spillover effects. I'll come to that. Okay, so we have a video here. I'll just share again, 1 second. Okay, let me just share again because it has to capture the audio. Give me a second.
Ma'am, you have unmuted yourself. Roopa, ma'am. Roopa, ma'am, you are not audible.
Ma'am, can you see the video?
No, ma'am.
1 second,
No, ma'am, it's not visible.
One second. Let
Oh.
me try other way. Okay. Anyways, I'll do one thing because I think we will not have time also. I'll just post this, okay, in the chat. That will be easier for us. Okay. I've just posted a link in the chat which speaks about like what is girl effect exactly. You'll be able to see that. Okay. Yes. 1 second, ma'am. I'll just adjust my screen. Okay, I think I'll be able to share this. Just let us have a look at this. Okay, I hope you have watched the video. See, it has spoken about a lot of like ideas which were cropping up in the development policy, okay, over the years. This concept, as I told you, it's not, I'm not here, like, don't take it in the sense of like propagation of a particular foundation or something. I'm not doing that. I'm just telling you like an idea, okay? They put forward this idea and that changed, okay, development thinking. It was presented in World Economic Forum, and obviously a lot of the development institutions across the globe, they started thinking about what will happen. We will be able to end poverty like this, okay? We will be able to better the lives of like several women like this over the generations. They will be able to like better equip women for all the challenges women will face. Okay, so let me get back to the slides. Okay, I hope you're able to see this. Can you see the slides, ma'am?
No, ma'am, no.
1 second, ma'am. Okay, one second. Maybe again. Okay.
Yeah, now it's visible. Ma'am, you have unmuted. You have to unmute yourself, ma'am.
So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I think I'll be able. You'll. Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
So that is, yeah, that is all about that girl effect. Okay, what we have to just understand what is girl effect is. You have to invest, the governments have to invest in education and in all the developmental activities for a particular set of like people, that is the girl child. Okay, so then they will be able to do what? They will be able to come out of all the social problems. Okay, social problems like what they discussed about, like HIV. You might be wondering about that. Okay, but it is one of the rampant what is that causes for like ill health in most of the African countries. Okay, so developing nations, which we used to call, they had this problem. Okay, they had this problem. So girls were affected, girl child was affected very bad because of that. And also like the video also showed you regarding, like, if you are able to make her empowered to make decisions, okay, for herself, she would be able to carry on, okay, that, and transfer it to the rest of the generations to come. Okay, so they were able to like show you that in that simple video. Now let us look into women empowerment. Okay, now this is a widely, what is that, debated and discussed particular concept of women empowerment. Some of the feminists critique this. Okay, I just want to bring that to your attention, the word empowerment. They say that who are you to empower us? Okay, so they say that you mean to say that when we are using the word empowerment, in a way we are trying to say that we are there to help you. Okay, but it is not the approach which is required. That is also there, but let us try and understand what are the positives, okay, when it comes to women empowerment. One is like, how do we understand this women empowerment? There are like 6 pointers which are popular, I have given you there. One is sense of self and vision of a life. Okay, it is like you have again stereotyping like mothers, okay, or stereotyping women. They are spending their time, okay, their time, entire time, for the betterment of the family, okay, or betterment of others around them. Okay, so that they don't have a vision for self. Okay, you just try and ask any individuals, okay, yeah, about their ideas, their vision for life and all. I want my child to be very happy. Okay, I want my child life to be secure. These kinds of ideas we hear recurrently, especially if you look into majority of women who are not having good education. Okay, of course there are a lot of women with a lot of wisdom without education, I'm not denying that. Okay, but still you have a lot of individuals who are without a vision. Okay, without that what is that, respect for self. Okay, then mobility and visibility. Okay, women has to be able to move freely, as well as they have to be visible in all the developmental activities and every areas of life. And also whether they are able to earn a living for themselves, meaning they are traditionally stereotyped, we understood that they are dependent on men, and they don't have any ability to earn a living. Even there is what is that, lot of evidences which show that lot of women have withdrawn from like labor market even after education. Okay, there are, because they don't have any bargaining power at home, because their family might think that women should not be working. Okay, or they might be thinking that anyways that it's below their social status and dignity to have their like women members in the family working. Okay, or decision making power within the household, or ability to interact effectively in public sphere, or participation in non-family groups apart from family. Do they have any opportunity to participate in community development activities, local panchayats, or any governmental offices, or anywhere where they will be able to be part of a public life? And this empowerment concept is also seen as high dimensional process of like social, economic, political, educational, and psychological. Okay, that is also seen in like understanding this women empowerment. And also some people classify it as individual level and collective level, what a woman can do for herself and for the society as her role in the society. Okay, so this is the concept of women empowerment. I have made the basics clear. Now let us look into what has happened in research. So here, when it comes to research, a lot of evidences across countries. It is not for one particular country. We call it as like longitudinal studies. Okay, over the years, you study the same individuals for research. Okay, if I am part of that research, I will be studied from maybe when I was like 5 years or 10 years or whatever till I reached the age of 60. So they have gathered evidences, and they have seen that there is economic gain of investing in girls, okay, which is called as the girl effect dividend. Okay, dividend meaning profit in very, very simple terms here. Okay, of course they are different. I'm just telling you in terms of like how you will be able to understand. And then investing in girls so that they would complete the next level of education, that would lead to a lifetime earning of like today. Okay, if you are investing in your education as a girl, okay, it has a lot of effects for your whole lifetime earnings. Okay, then spillover effects, meaning to say that you will be able to be a better contributor to the society as a whole. You will be able to bring out better neighborhood. Okay, you will be able to educate others with your education. Girls have there are a lot of case studies like that. One girl child has started an initiative, and the whole village follows the suit. And then rearing daughters, see, these are very interesting studies which are very specific to developed countries context, and also some of the studies in some of the sectors of India. Okay, what is that? Rearing daughters decreases father's likelihood to hold traditional attitudes. If a man is having a girl child, he has very, very less likelihood, meaning very less possibility of holding that traditional attitudes, meaning the stereotyping. Okay, gender stereotyping. And then that is, one is having a girl child, another one is what, another one is daughters themselves leading their parents, especially their what is that, father, to hold more modern attitudes towards gender norms. Okay, that is another important point. Okay, in research these are evidences I have brought in for you. And then having a daughter would expose fathers to a larger extent to the new world views. New world views here, meaning to say how we are to be understood as human beings rather than labeling as like a woman, okay, or a man, okay, or a transgender, okay, or a Muslim women, a Hindu women, someone like this. Okay, you are labeling. Beyond that, you will be able to see that humaneness, and leading to a more significant shift in their attitudes. Their attitudes will change. If they were stereotyping earlier, they have shown, evidences have shown that these fathers would have changed their attitudes, okay, towards all women. Okay, so that is what the research has shown us. Now let me get into the crux of the topic. Okay, I'll just finish. I don't have much what is that, I'll not trouble you more. Okay, those students who are in the post lunch session, I have only two major points to cover. That is, what is policy level interventions and what is agency level interventions. Now, you are youth who are being part of like several activities in your colleges and in the society as a whole. You're doing different courses, you are enabling yourself for the better world, right? So we are to be understanding like what are those interventions, what are those actions through which we will be able to bring changes in the lives of individuals. Okay, specifically the girl child here whom we are considering, and the women empowerment. So first is like what policy intervention meaning. Okay, policy intervention means what government can do at a very macro level. Okay, what government will be able to initiate as policies. First is like engendering schemes and all the programs which are government initiated, and also gender mainstreaming. These are major two areas in which government can pitch in. Okay, and it is doing also. And one such as today's program, okay, wherein you are like government has declared that National Girl Child Day, and we are celebrating that as agency. Okay, what is the policy there? The policy is declaring. Okay, now here what is engendering schemes and programs meaning? You bring in gender sensitivity to the existing programs. Already a lot of programs are there. For that, you bring in the gender dimension. Okay, because needs of each gender are different. Okay, so you bring in that is engendering. What is gender mainstreaming? Gender mainstreaming refers to like all the programs and policies. Okay, you should be as a government, the government should visibly and actively involve, okay, lot of like activities and lot of programs with a gender perspective. Okay, they should come up with new programs. Okay, that is like they have to come up with all the what is that developmental policies, coming up with newer programs. But when it comes to engendering within the programs, with whatever you are as a government you are initiating, how you will be making it as gender sensitive. And then as economics teacher, I have put in this. Okay, policy level interventions also mean making markets work for women. What kind of markets? Be it labor market, okay, or land market, or product market, or financial markets. Four markets will cover most of the aspects, okay, for a person's life. Okay, land, your inheritance rights, okay, and your property rights. And then labor, what are the working conditions for a girl, for a woman, okay, those. And then what is the product? Okay, product refers to entrepreneurship. Your entrepreneurship cell might have organized several events for you, wherein you are able to have that what is that exposure. So that is product. Okay, then financial is access to credit, savings, and all of this. So what government as a policy intervention can do? That policy intervention is nothing but reforms in law. All the laws relating to whatever four areas I said, it has to reform, keeping gender in place. Okay, keeping the gender lens, it has to reform. Okay, it has to reform as a policy intervention. Then what do we understand by agency level interventions? Okay, they are broadly what is that, classified as direct, some of the direct indicators and indirect indicators. But first let us understand, what do you mean by agency level interventions? Agency level interventions is from agency theory. Okay, Amartya Sen, you might have heard about Amartya Sen, right? He has proposed this, that is any agent's action, okay, any action, okay, which will bring about a change is called as like an agency. If you are doing a particular street play, okay, as part of your college fest, is it bringing any change in the society? Okay, that will become an agency. Your street play will become an agency. Likewise, there are direct and indirect when it comes to women empowerment. What are those? First is power within, and then household decision making, freedom of movement, freedom from violence. Now, Ashwini ma'am, when she was discussing with me, she was asking me to highlight certain rights, okay, certain aspects, okay, of like health and other things. So I'm not an expert to bring in a lot of rights for you, okay, as what are the constitutional provisions and all that. So what I will try to do here is, at individual level, what all you should be knowing. Okay, you have to what is that, initiate that inquisitiveness in you, and you have to explore. I will be telling you, you have a lot of rights, and it is your duty to go and check, okay, what are those rights which you have. So when it comes to power within, okay, as a citizen, okay, what all I need to know in order to empower myself, okay, that is power within. As a woman, as a girl child, they should be made this agency. Okay, all these activities which are taking place, okay, it might be one guest lecture, it might be one simple like flash mob, or it might be one song, okay, or whatever it is. That agency level interventions government cannot directly do. Okay, government has to make only policies. It will be directly making only policies, and indirectly all of us have to do this. Okay, so power within, girl child awareness camps, okay, all those things. What is personality development for a girl? Okay, all those things can come in power within. What about household decision making? Lot of our women will not be able to participate in household decisions. Okay, so we have to what is that, make ourselves aware that I will be able to make spending decisions for my family as a woman. Okay, and all women have that right. Okay, they should be able to participate in spending decisions, how they are to spend their income. Okay, we have had instances wherein women will be panchayat head, but still her husband would be taking care of all the financial activities. Okay, but household decision making itself, women have a voice. Okay, they have voice, they have every right. And then freedom of movement. Okay, this of course need a lot of other institutional factors to be in place, like law and order, and men should be actively involved. They should be sensitized that women have every right to like move. Okay, because freedom of movement, I still hear a lot of cases wherein women are not even free to go back to their like father's house after marriage. Okay, so there are a lot of debates about that, like freedom of movement. And then freedom from violence. And then what is that, your rights for like emotional well-being, okay, or mental well-being. You might have abusive relationship. Okay, or you might come across like a lot of cases of, we generally come across a lot of cases of harassment at different places. Okay, workplace, home, or you don't think that home will not be an exception. It is not an exception for most of the women, because there will be dowry harassment. Okay, or there will be a lot of like violences. Okay, mental as well as physical, and sexual also. Okay, and then dowry related deaths. Okay, all those things are to be avoided if you know your rights. Okay, and because boys are also listening, I am told. Okay, I just want to like bring to your attention, sometimes girls might misuse their freedom. Okay, there were instances wherein like there is fake dowry case and all that they have done. So that is like also in discussion. Okay, but I just want to support them also. They should not feel that I'm not addressing them, but the agenda for today is about like women and girl child. So I want you to, and child abuse. Okay, and all those like child labor, that is also like form of violence only. So these are like direct indicators wherein we have to bring in change. And then what are indirect interventions or indirect indicators which can lead to a lot of interventions is family domain. So here I want to bring in the health of like your reproductive choice. Okay, I'm not too sure how many of you are aware of this. What are the reproductive choices? What is the women's choice in using contraceptives? Okay, or what is like women's choice when it comes to timing of marriage? Okay, when you want to marry, you marry. Okay, but most of the times it is conditioned. Okay, it is conditioned and it is stereotyped. Okay, so that is what your right. Okay, for marriage, choice of marriage. And then right for the childbearing. Okay, when should I have a child? Okay, you have every right to decide that. And then decision of like what is that, reproductive education. Okay, now they are trying to bring in, but there are a lot of like hurdles for government to like approve that reproductive education. Okay, that is very important for all girls as well as boys. Okay, in adolescent age, because they get into a lot of like trouble, and they get into a lot of like what is that, unhealthy behaviors. Okay, so that is in family domain, whether, and women have choice there. But women has, that is what I want to tell, like the rights. And then the economic domain. Economic domain is what kind of job I want to do. Okay, do I get equal pay for equal work? Okay, and how many women CEOs are there? Okay, all those questions fall into, or do I have access to banking facilities? Do I have access to savings and credit? Okay, all those things. And then political and community domain, whether you are able to freely vote, whether you are able to freely participate in political activities. Okay, that is participation in local panchayat elections, or local agency elections, or any other what is that, public sphere in community. Maybe there might be a club, okay, there might be association, whether you are freely allowed to go. You should be able to know you have every right to achieve all these kinds of like factors I have tried laying over. So now I want to again reiterate the fact that these agency level interventions are very important, okay, these institutions, because now the debate about developing countries and developed countries is that developed countries have well laid institutions, okay, for their development, but here we have to create a lot of institutions, meaning institution does not mean a physical institution. Family as an institution will be able to support you with whatever decisions you make, okay. So these are agency level interventions. So I just want to conclude here, okay, wherein you can see, I think in the background there is a girl child with the gada there. That's like my daughter, okay, my daughter, my niece, okay. She has inspired a lot of us in terms of like her choices, okay, and how she's able to freely develop her thinking, okay. So I have put her, instead of like using any other images, I felt like using that, okay. Now, what I want you to tell is, no matter how hard it is, or no matter how hard it gets for you, I'm going to make it. That should be your attitude as both women as well as men, because I'm sure this is not the platform to talk about your problems, boys, but I'm sure now currently there is a lot of discussion about you as well as the transgender as well, about when it comes to gender. But let me focus on individual and self-development here. How much ever hard it is, no matter how hard it gets, you please brace yourself up. You have that self-confidence. You will be able to achieve whatever you dream of. Okay, dream and give wings to your dream. Okay, have that confidence within you. So thank you. And this is my contact detail. Okay, so I have laid out my number as well as my email ID. And if you are on LinkedIn, I appeal all young minds. Who I saw someone from PBA, someone from like commerce, and a lot of like courses. Please be active. Try to understand what is happening in the labor market, because you're all to get jobs, right? So open LinkedIn accounts. Of course, Instagram, everything is important. Along with that, LinkedIn is also very important. You would be able to what is that, participate in and talk to a lot of people through LinkedIn. I thank Mrs. Ashwini for this opportunity particularly, okay. And then I thank the entire management and the department and IQSE and Shakti and Udyogimitra, okay. So yeah, so all of you, I'm very thankful for this opportunity and happy to be back actually. Yes, thank you. If there are any questions, ma'am, you can just post.
Yeah, any questions, you can post it to the chat box, guys. Dear participants, kindly post your questions into the chat box.
Okay, see, yes, I think post-lunch effect might be there.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Roopa, ma'am, there is one question.
Yeah.
So what is the role of the parents in this particular session?
Okay. See, when it comes to role of parents, I would say like you are the individuals whom the child will imitate. Okay. So they learn by imitation rather than by your teaching. Okay. Why do we say that this child is like his mother or his father or his grandfather or whoever that child is in close contact with? It is because that particular child is influenced by the imitations. Okay, whatever imitations this person is doing in front of them, they follow that exactly. So in that context, when you are raising a boy or raising a girl, okay, or I would say raising a child, okay, you be very careful of your behavior, okay, because more than you teach, they learn from you. Okay, more than you teach, they will learn from your actions. So parents role is very crucial. I just want to say that, see, one personal instance I would tell you, like my parents, okay, to be very honest, I was called as the tomboy, okay, in our community circles, because I was always maybe riding bikes, okay, or I would always do adventure and all of that. My father never questioned, he encouraged, okay, whatever qualities I would want to pursue, he was always there. Okay, so you see, like, you have to inspire your child, you, no matter what, like, they will be able to achieve with all your support. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Professor Anita ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks.
A very good afternoon, ma'am. I, Professor Anita, on behalf of Department of BCom BBA Dhananand Sagar College of Arts, Science and Commerce, extend my sincere thanks to our beloved chairman, Dr. D. Hemachandra Saga. I would like to acknowledge my gratitude to our vice chairman, Dr. D. Premachandra Saga. I like to express my gratitude to our secretary, Shri Gali Swami. I extend wholehearted thanks to our speaker, Dr. Roopa Patavardhan, who spared time from her busiest schedule to impart knowledge about policy and agency level interventions for women empowerment. Today, on the occasion of National Girl Child Day, we had an opportunity to learn about policies that would empower women, and this will surely encourage our students. Thank you, madam. I extend my most sincere thanks to our beloved principal, Dr. Nagaraj Shanai. My hearty thanks to our vice principal, Professor Hemant Uppala. I like to express my gratitude to Dr. Suplab K. Podar, HOD Department of Management, and Professor Murugesha BN, HOD Department of Commerce. My sincere thanks to all my faculty colleagues and my dear students who made this event a success. Thank you all, ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Ashwini ma'am, and thank you, management, for giving me this opportunity.
A feedback link is being posted here. Kindly fill the feedback. Feedback form is being posted in the chat box.